Hello, Cancers. This is Queen Amun Ra coming to you with your general reading. Cancers, happy Monday to everybody. Hopefully you all are having a great day so far. Happy Monday. You all are ruled by the moon, and we're coming up on this new moon in your zodiac sign. That's right, the moon may still be in Gemini, so we already talked about that in the previous video and what part of the body it affects. So as it's moving into the moon in Cancer, it starts moving down to like those areas where like the sacral chakra, womb area, those areas of creativity where seeds are planted, right? So start thinking like what you want to create, but you want to spend some time and just kind of really nurturing yourselves where you start feeling those areas where you want to create, right? When you start thinking, feelings, you want to start creating more joy in your life, more creativity, more adaptability, more sensuality, fertility, like seeds that you want to plant, emotional range, right? Maybe starting to feel like you want to date again or whatever, that areas of creativity, right? But the moon connects us with instinct and protection. So you've been getting a lot of downloads about a lot of things you're starting to make connections with. You're starting to say, something didn't feel safe. It could have been an apartment that you lived in, a neighborhood that you lived in, the people that you were around, family members, friends. It could have been a job where you didn't. You're starting to really start connecting the dots, right? If it was a job that you didn't feel safe, this is the important when you go back into your crab shell. It's like starting a journal. This is where you're taking actions from now on through prayer and meditation. Prayer is the action. Why didn't you feel safe on the job? Why? What was it? You don't want to dismiss that. Why didn't you feel safe, around that friend? Why didn't you feel safe in your childhood? Why didn't you feel safe, with that coworker that wanted you to go to lunch with them? Or why didn't you feel safe when or why did you feel safe? The other side. Why did you feel safe around certain people and didn't feel safe around other people? Like what's the difference, right? What makes you feel safe? What makes people feel safe around you? Right? So your instincts and protection. That's the beauty of Cancer, right? Also, you want to find out what your moon sign is so you can learn how to pour into yourself so you'll know too. Let's get into it. I am surrounded by people who encourage me. I am surrounded by people who encourage me. Thank you all for letting me know about the sound as well. I'm just going to remove the microphone altogether because the microphone isn't like, even though the microphones are supposed to be nice microphones, something like they're nice. And thank you all for giving me the feedback that you're giving me because I want to know, y'all on the receiving end of that, I want to know what they sound like. So if they're not really, I'm going to go back to, the original. So let's get into it. Let's get right into it. Right into it. Let's see what is going on for my Cancers. See what's going on for my Cancers. Let's see what's going on for my Cancers. All right, let's do it. As we're closing out a cycle, you want to make sure you're always landing on the light side, or at least your best. Try your best to not let anybody else contaminate your water. So again, when you say I am, this is Source. You're praying, Source. Make sure I'm surrounded by people who encourage me, right? Not people who discourage you. So you're closing out a cycle. Something happened during Saturn return. You made a major move, and some things happened. People really want to make you look like a fool. So you're ending it with them. Ending it on the rebirth side. Your actions are going to speak louder than your words. Something has come to light. Your actions are going to speak louder than your words. Yeah. You had a Saturn return. Something happened with you or a sibling or a child that's connected to you. You felt something in your back. You felt something with somebody in your bloodline. A major something happened. And you're closing out cycles. You're moving on. You are moving on. Something has ended. Right? So you have full working knowledge. Here we have the Knight of Swords here. Yeah, something ended. And somebody told somebody that they saw somebody running away from something. Somebody told a lie. Somebody told somebody they saw somebody running away from something. And you wear your heart on your sleeve, whoever you are, but this is like somebody told somebody a loved one of yours was running away from something. Like, and called some kind of a high-speed chase or something like that. But something got you really, really focused, right? In other words, somebody lied on a loved one, said they saw them running away from something or something. But somebody got paid to do it. Again, if you don't feel safe, I'm telling y'all, and if people like, I don't care if you go to a store. If you go to a store and you patronize something and you don't feel safe, you don't go to a store, you physically walk into somewhere or whatever, and you feel like people are like, yeah, something was done behind your back. Because somebody felt like they were going to use your words against you. Whatever, I don't know what you said to somebody, but somebody, this is what a lot of people have in common, but somebody said they were going to use your words against you. I don't know what you may have said to somebody in some way, shape, form, or fashion, but somebody said they were going to use your words against you. They're going to make you pay for something you said. Here's a page of pentacles here. So looks like you wanted some kind of new lease on life, doing some kind of a Saturn return here. So maybe you may make a major move or something. Maybe you relocated or something. But somebody felt like they were going to pay. They paid to people to do something to a younger person, right? To do something to a younger person. To put them in, to put them in danger. To put somebody in danger. Just because you want a new lease on life. This is a fire sign who did this. Somebody made something all about them to try to keep you somehow connected to them in some way, shape, form, or fashion. And so what's interesting about this right here, whoever you are, is people see you as down to earth and they see you as relatable. Whoever you are, people see you as down to earth and they see you as relatable. But people want to keep you and somebody somehow connected to them, chained to them in some way, shape, form, or fashion. So after all the hard work that you've done, you're hard work, whoever you are, you're a hard-working person, down to earth, relatable. You were going for a whole new lease on life that you have worked really, really hard for. You were growing your abundance and your prosperity, and people were secretly doing stuff behind your back, being shady. Yeah. So soon as you moved on, this is your north node right here. Moving on to your north node, this 3 right here. This 3 right here lets me know that something inspired you to move. Like something inspired you to move. It could have been anything that inspired you to move. For some of you all, see how this bull here? Something could have inspired you to move. Somebody could have, I don't know, it could have been a job that you just felt like, if it was a job or wherever you worked, you could have just felt like, okay, maybe your name was left off of an email one too many times, maybe your name was misspelled wrong, or you know how sometimes people do stuff in subtle ways. Maybe your name was misspelled wrong on an email, and somebody says, oh, you didn't show up at a meeting, and your name was misspelled wrong. You didn't even know about the meeting because your name was intentionally misspelled. Y'all know the subtle stuff that people do to keep you out of things. Whatever it was, people were thinking that you were a fool and that you wouldn't notice certain things, right? When you moved on, right? Thinking that you just wouldn't notice certain things, that you just moving and you wouldn't know what was going on here. But the way that Source did something to make sure that you would get your downloads. Source made sure that you would get your downloads. Because before you went off this time, somebody caught up with you to talk to you so that your words would not, if somebody gave you something, physically gave you something valuable, so that your words would not be used against you. So like somebody gave you something valuable to say, here's something. Here's something. Because you worked hard for something. Here's the four, yeah. Mm-hmm. Here's the Eight of Swords here. Yeah, somebody says, here's something. There you go. There's a Page of Swords here. Yep, here's a Hermit card. And here's the Four of Cups here. So, yeah, something about, like I said, whoever you are, and I'm talking to you, whoever Cancer is in your birth chart, doesn't have to be your sun or moon sign. It could be anywhere in your birth chart. It could be your fourth house, whatever, wherever Cancer is in your birth chart. You know who, at this point, was trying to push her back up against the wall with something, whoever it is. Was trying to push your back up against the wall with something. As you were growing your abundance and your prosperity. And this is a loved one, by the way. Now you know who was doing what. Basically, this is somebody from, this is somebody that you were looking for acceptance from. You were paying more attention to them. This is somebody in your family than they were paying to you. Like you held them in high regard, but it's like you were working harder for their attention. This is a loved one than they were working for yours. So let me see how I can make this make sense for somebody. So it would be like, this would be like a family member really wanting your life. They looking at your life, but making you feel like your life is not the best, right? Where's the yeah, so Saturn return, right, which is a generational planet, right? So this has been going on for generations. It's almost like somebody saying, if they could swap lives with yours, they would swap lives with yours, right? So in this card right here, King of Swords, let's just say, for instance, you had a great dad growing up. Let's say your father was just amazing, right? But theirs wasn't. That's not your fault, and you should not have to pay a price because your father was present, your father was a great dad in your life, right? Yeah, in your life, right? All this stuff going on behind your back, you know, in your life, right? But somehow these energies wanted you to pay something, like almost like it's your fault. That's what this is. It's like it's your fault that, almost like the cards for them was dealt wrong. Like it's your fault though, Cancer, that you are as nurturing, as a sweetheart as you are. I'm talking to men and women Cancers, right? So these energies were ruthless. They were absolutely ruthless in talking about you behind your back and bullying somebody. It could have been bullying your father, you know, or bullying your child, So it could have been your father could have been depressed in his own family. It could have been your child. If you have kids, your kids could have been depressed in their own family. Or if it was your brothers, they could have been depressed in their family. Almost like, and it could have been a sibling or siblings doing this within your own family. But the way you coming through with the sword, you cutting everybody off. And I'm just telling y'all what I'm seeing here in the cards. This right here, people saying you running from stuff and your words gonna be used against you, but they would swap destinies with you in a heartbeat. Whoever you are, they would swap a life with you in a second. In other words, whoever you are, I don't know, and again, take only what resonates with you. Some people in your family would trade your father, and they would take, it's almost like everybody wish they had your father. Whoever your father is, they wish they had yours. I don't know who I'm talking to, so. I don't know why families be acting like that, but you made a major life change, a major life decision to be surrounded by people who encourage you, because that's what I'm seeing for somebody. So whether it was your mom or your dad, whoever it is, somebody's family wanted to do a swap. I'm picking up on somebody's father though, because I'm seeing this King of Swords here. Somebody's father was incredibly smart, trying to be high vibrational as possible around all of this hurt. Something was passed on to you as having this really, really big heart though, and kind of being an open book, and something generationally is with you. Maybe you passed it down to somebody, who pays attention to energies and trying to be. The same thing happened. Something came back around, but something with you is ending. So something with you is ending. So it's like your back was pushed up against the wall and you started praying. You started praying. And so this where it ends with you. So this is a generational cycle chain and curse you're breaking. So ask source for clarity. Yep, open your vault door. So close out the cycle in love. Somebody regrets lying to you about something. Get some fresh air. Yeah, everything in moderation. Somebody's a succubus spirit. Back straight, walk away. The answers you seek are coming. They feel they're stealing your identity. Yep, the curses. I'm telling y'all, the curse is now broken. Drink more water as a form of self-care. It was almost like the norm in somebody's family. I don't know who I'm talking to, but it was almost like whoever you are, and take what resonates with you. You may have had a really good father in your life. We're not talking about perfect, because there's no such thing as a perfect human being, but you may have really got good father in your life. And that may have been kind of sort of the outside of the norm in somebody's family, like overall family, like structure, like amongst the like cousins or whoever else. And but people wanted you to feel like you were the odd one. Like, let me see. Like, people wanted you to make you feel like you were Five of Pentacles. People wanted you to feel like this, right? Right? But it was really them on the outside of your life, right? But they worked really hard to make you feel like, and they practiced dark magic to make you feel like you were the one on the outside. So sources like, from today forth, when you watch this video, whoever you are, you're going to realize, no. Yeah, your abundance and your prosperity, it's time for you to live in the sunshine. It's time for you to be smiling, from grinning from ear to ear. It's not your fault that, hey, if you had a father who was present and did the best he could, hey, this is where you need to be celebrating him, for real. But you're cutting it off with these energies. Here we have, it's time to heal your wounded warrior. Yeah, for real. So that's not to say that somebody father didn't have demons, whatever that is, but They could have been a really good father to you, right? And so it's like, somehow these energies sort of like resented whoever you are. It's like somebody's family resented you for that, or like resented you or resented your kids or something for that. Who knows? But Angel Gabriel, the messenger of God, is with you. Somebody's in a crisis. But yeah, you cutting some people off. Here we have your some energies trying to give you boxed in. Here we have your peace is paramount. Yeah, you leaving these energies outside of your life. Whoever they are, I don't know who they are, but you're not. Somebody is no longer making excuses for people's behavior towards you anymore in your family. You're not doing this. You're too high. Somebody's too high vibrational. You're surrounded by people who encourage you. You know how people just be making up stories just to kind of sensationalize stuff? You know, like they want to have a struggle life. You know, I mean, certain things you did struggle with, people competing against you and trying to, you know, weigh you down and make you feel like you had the weight of the world on your shoulders. These things are true. Somebody did go through all of this. People talking about you behind your back, being shady and messy and mean-spirited towards you, whoever you are, looking at your cards here, talking, you know, all of this. But you're highly spiritually gifted. Empress energy. This is you. Whoever you are, man or woman, it's you. Now it's time for you to structure your emotions. Somebody carries a lot of spiritual gifts on them. A lot of spiritual gifts on them. Just like whoever these energies are, they have a lot of spiritual gifts too. But here we have 2. You're protecting your peace. I am diplomatic. You're fair. Here we have you have great talent for finding solutions. Your intuitive and unbiased nature allows you to see all sides of any situation and advise others towards the most fair and beneficial outcome. Yeah. I don't know who these loved ones are, but they didn't talk themselves right outside of your universe. So you love them, but guess what? You don't feel safe around them, and you are protecting your energy, whoever they are. And anybody with that same kind of spirit, but the curse is now broken. The curse is now broken. Sanctity. So through offering, even the most mundane problem can become a sacrament. Yeah. These energies did something to you behind your back with a religious organization. Doesn't necessarily have to mean it was church or a mosque or a temple. It could have been any kind of religious organization. Somebody, they lied on you behind your back with a religious organization, whatever organization they were connected to. Yeah, so somebody has a moon in Aries. It's time for you to take action. Like I said, action is that you prayer warrior. So some of you all have already taken action, like I said before, because, like I said, your peace is paramount, right? And so you know exactly who to talk to. Somebody, at this point, you know exactly who to talk to. So you're taking a walk. Yeah, you're taking a walk. So something is going to be handled. Yeah, something is going to be handled, but yeah. Yeah, so, yeah, whoever these energies are, they sure did. Queen of Innocence. That's right. These energies, whether you're a man or woman or whatever, these energies are saying the opposite of that about you. They said the opposite of that about you. Because something is over now, but they said the opposite about you. They said this behind your back, whoever you are. And you had a feeling about something. You had a feeling about something. But I'm telling y'all, somebody has some family members who they love attention. Whoever's family this is, they love attention. They've been competing with you since, it's like anything that will put them in the center of attention. Whoever these family members are, I'm telling you, they love it. Anything that will put them at the center of attention. But you're free of these energies. You can be celebrating something. There's something you're going to be celebrating. Some energies are in a crisis right now, but it's going to be something that you're going to be celebrating. Because it's them and it's them and their parents or whoever it is that's been competing with you and your parents or something forever. You could be whatever your age is, you could be the child, whatever your age is, that didn't even know something was going on in your family, like a competition was going on in your family. You're just innocent. But something could have been going on for generations. But somebody's about to find out something. So but whoever these energies are, they've been acting like Anyway, that's what I have for you. But you're about to celebrate something. You're about to take a leap of faith and talk about expansion, but you're surrounded by people who encourage you to take some kind of action because something intentional was done to leave you and someone else out of something. So remember, time is relative, and karma has arrived. Karma has arrived for a family. So they're in a crisis right now. Whoever this is, they're in a crisis because somebody's back. Their back is against the wall. You know what this is, but I don't know why people feel some kind of way about you. You being born to whatever parent you were born to. I mean, and them. I don't know. Anyway, that's what I have for you all, Cancers. So yeah, I do feel like you may be taking a walk. I do feel like you're going to be talking to some energies and, getting some help with some things and getting some things sorted out. But some money is going to come to you all, for somebody, for a whole new lease on life. Because you worked too hard to be kicked out of something. So, all right, y'all. That's what I have for you. Okay?